Hey, and welcome to one of the best black metal albums of the year. This is a debut album by a band called Terrestrial Hospice. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, it's quite a horrible name for a black metal band. But then again, who judges the book by the cover or a guy by the name? What matters is the music is good, and it is, my friends, really good. Now, this is a released by Recane Records, or more like Shadow Records, more or less the kind of the same label with this different distribution and all that stuff. And this is an album called Indian Summer Brought Mushroom Clouds. Quite a sinister title. Now there's a couple of interesting anecdotes which I'm gonna tell you about, but before that, let's take a look at this vinyl here. It's a gatefold. And here is the two-man lineup, which I have some anecdotes to mention. Here is the track list. And you can see pretty much interesting titles as well, like Please Accept My Most Sincere Condolences. Very fitting for an album which has album title about mushroom clouds. And here on the gatefold, you have these lyrics printed, which in my opinion is definitely cooler way than to just include a sheet, but I guess to each his own. And there is nothing inside, so it's just for vinyl only. There is no poster, no extra liner notes. It is just this, which I guess very, very much fits the mood of the band and the release. And inside you will just, find typical black vinyl. Very, very simple, very much back to the roots, old school, old-fashioned stuff. Here you have the band's metal archive site. It's from Poland. Two guys, one EP out in 2018. Haven't heard it, so I didn't have anything to compare this to previously. But when I heard this album during the summer, it got out on digital in June, maybe in even May. And that's when I requested a copy. It just took a few months, let's call it COVID. And now that it finally arrived, I wanted to review it so badly because already in June or May, I was very, very much stoked about it. I really liked the music after first spin. Few spins no more, I am really wanting to praise this album. It's very, very good. It's raw, it's violent, relentless, unapologetic. It's in your face, it's all over the place. Kind of like Urgehal, old Dark Throne feeling with its kind of a rawish and violent, aggressive output. Really, really great stuff. Now, mostly it's fast tempo, so you obviously go hand in hand with the aggressiveness and violence, but there are parts when the band knows how to kind of slow down, and it creates more versatility, which then again, in my opinion, makes this album more interesting. Overall, all the songs are very, very good. There are no weak points. There are no parts where hey, what's going on? I want to skip this one. More like, I want more. And once this half an hour and then some is gone, you're like, I'm going to give it another spin, another spin, another spin. It's really, really enjoyable, powerful and hateful album all in all. Very much taken to some early or mid-90s Norwegian style, yet also having a little bit of a twist. But as I promised, I wanted to tell you a little bit of these members, because these are kind of what this makes a little bit more interesting. Obviously the music speaks for itself, right? And we all know now it's really, really powerful and good album. But there's a couple of nice details with the band members which I want to mention before we call it quits with the album. Now, first of all, as you can see, it's two-man lineup. Skugen, very, very Norwegian name, and Inferno doing drums. Now, Skugen is a very interesting character because, born in 1980, he has been in very, very many bands. Mostly nowadays, I guess, known for Tortorum, which is a good black metal band. But before that, he has quite a few bands which have questionable reputation. Darkstone, Legacy of Blood might ring a bell, but at least you should know bands such as Thunderbolt and Veles. Now with Veles, which is kind of like Gravelandish raw black metal, he played drums it seems. And Thunderbolt, which is known for certain kind of hateful stuff. Well, he had plenty of instruments and did quite a lot of releases with Thunderbolt. Also names such as Swastika. Well, yeah, you get it. It's a politically questionable band. Even more interesting it becomes when you mention the drummer Inferno, because Voodoo, he's known for his extensive work in Behemoth. So very different from Behemoth style. I mean, Terrestrial Hospice is all raw and violent and, so kind of an inhuman style, whereas Behemoth, everybody knows, kind of like mainstream black metal, if you call it. I mean, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest metal band in Poland. Whereas Terrestrial Hospice is very, very different. Also, Inferno plays drums in Azeroth, which is also not that mainstream as Behemoth, but also at the same time kind of a nicer version of what Terrestrial Hospice is. I mean, Azeroth came out recently with a new album. You probably should check out that as well. But what makes Terrestrial Hospice so good is not the lineup, obviously. It's because these guys know how to pull all the right strings, especially if you have love for Urgehal like I do, or the early 90s, mid 90s Dark Throne albums. It has the majesty, magic, and sheer rawness what these bands were able to do. I really like it, and it's definitely one of my favorite albums in summer 2020. So, very much an album of the year contender. Who knows how it will be? I mean, the rest of the year has been wonderful in terms of good metal albums, but definitely one of those albums that is probably going to be quite high in the top 10 list of this year. Definitely check it out. Thank you for watching. Enjoy it, and bye bye.